All right, if you want to see other crazy stuff, we have another crazy story on tap for you. This is about cops who love music, but not for the reason you think they do. All right. So there's a very troubling new trend of cops using a very specific trick to make it so that videos of the cops doing terrible things don't go viral. And it involves playing pop music when they know they're getting filmed, so that if those individuals who are filming the cops try to post that online, those video postings will get demonetized, but worse, taken down because they're using like the Beatles or Taylor Swift. So to give you a demonstration of how this is in action, a group called Anti-Police Terror Project was told by police to remove a Justice for Stephen Taylor banner. And then we have to mute it because of this very thing, but you'll see when it happens and we'll describe it later. But watch as the cop pulls out his phone and starts playing Taylor Swift music. You'll know when it happens because we have to mute it. Take a look.
Concern that you have that someone's gonna trip on this guy. You can't keep your Let's go back to the beginning. It was on the walls, right? And you moved it from the walls. Now you put it here. I'm just trying to. What is the difference?
That's that. Come on back. So you see how we muted it and it was quiet and we couldn't talk? That's because that's exactly their move that the police are doing right now. He started playing the song Blank Space, which is one of 9 songs on my phone, not to brag, but he started playing Blank Space by Taylor Swift. And we'll go through the transcript of what unfolded after that. But Cenk, what's your reaction to this, which, as we'll prove later, thanks to Taylor Lorenz, is a trend that's happening among police officers?
So first of all, this is a sign of the times. I mean, it's so the social media age. When police know about what leads to copyright strikes on YouTube channels, and hence, instead of beating someone up or doing whatever else they used to do in the old days, they start playing Taylor Swift or any copyrighted music so that they are not held accountable. The thing that remains constant is trying to avoid accountability, right? But the method by which they're doing it is both bad and amusing. I like what the guy talking to the cop said there. Why are we having a dance party right now?
So good. So this is, I'll give you the transcript of what was happening in the background, what was happening while Taylor Swift was playing in the background. So that James and Rebecca are the 2 people that work for the organization, and then the sergeant is represented by the sergeant. Here's the transcript we wrote down. James says, "This is the new hotness right here. Is that the recording so that they get a copy screen? That's cute." So it's like basically that they're, so that when we're recording, we get a copyright strike. That's cute. Rebecca says, "I don't understand. If it's completely illegal, why would you care about it being recorded?" James says, "This guy turned on pop music. He was excited to do this." So he's talking about the sergeant. He was excited to turn it on. And then he asks, "Is there a administrative regulation for this right now? Is this basically something that you do?" And the sergeant says, "Not that I know of." James says, "Is this procedure for you to essentially play Taylor Swift?" And the sergeant says, "I'm just listening to music, sir." But James doesn't let it go. He later doubles back and says, "Is this procedure for the Alameda County Sheriff's Department?" He's trying to get the cop to admit that he's doing this for the exact reasons we've outlined. And the sergeant says, "Not specifically outlined." And James says, "You said before that you were playing music to make sure this wasn't posted on YouTube." And this is just transcript of what I heard on this thing. The sergeant said, "That's correct." So he admits. And what's hilarious about this was just a back and forth, by the way, about a sign, a banner at a protest. But this cop chose this to be the moment where he would make a giant deal of it by playing Taylor Swift. And the most ironic thing of all is this went wildly viral in this last 24 hours because he was trying to get around it. He was so damn pleased with himself that's what went down.
Yeah, look, there's a couple of things that get you automatic strikes because the computer program picks it up. It's not a person doing it, and one of those is copyrighted music. So that's why they know if you upload that video, it will be instantly taken down by basically the algorithm at YouTube, and that's why the cops have come up with this strategy. And as Brett's about to tell you, it was not just one rando cop that thought of it and thought it was cute. They apparently are doing it now regularly.
So Taylor Lorenz, who tweeted about this, said, so police are playing copyrighted music while being recorded in an attempt to ensure that the footage will get DMCA'd, which is the Digital Millennial Copyright Act, I think, when shared on social. And she points out, similar instance from back in February. This is a cop accused of playing copyrighted music while being filmed to block, etc. And then another one. New video shows Beverly Hills cops playing Beatles to trigger the Instagram filter. What they don't count on is that Twitter is kind of behind it all, on it all. So Twitter doesn't have any of this. But just so you know, like from someone this is the job I've been in for now 10 years. Like when you upload something to YouTube, they automatically scan it to see if it's been uploaded anywhere else. And then they tell the people, automatically notify those folks. Usually it's large, like if you're using music or if you're using something from a professional sports team or a major studio for movies and TV, those folks are like, yeah, strike, do it, I don't care. Let them sue me. So my question is, I assume Taylor Swift, who has taken some pretty public stances on stuff like this, I assume if you pointed it out to Taylor Swift that she would say, listen, if the cops pull out my music, and maybe we should ask her, I don't know, maybe we should ask Taylor Swift, if the cops take out your music and start playing it to keep justice from happening, from basically blocking your constitutional rights so that they can play this weird, tricky little trump card of DMCA rights, then maybe Taylor and maybe the people who own the music for the Beatles, maybe they can step forward and say like, no, we can give a blanket statement. And I think I want to challenge them personally. I want to challenge them to say, if that happens, if the music's playing in the background of a rally or an event, or if the police take out their phones and start playing it to really obstruct your constitutional rights to protest, First Amendment rights, the very First Amendment, I feel like these labels and these artists should probably say something about it and say that that's not going to fly, because usually those artists are at the forefront of a lot of stuff like this.
Well, the artists might, but the labels won't.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Taylor brought back our whole catalog. Ask me more about Taylor Swift because I will tell you everything.
Apparently so. Anyways, but look. It's not really going to work, to be honest, because then they won't play a Taylor Swift album, they'll play something else, right? And then you're going to have to get everybody to agree. And then how do you know if it's for constitutional rights or not for constitutional rights? And that's where the labels will be like, hell no, right? But the main thing is that it automatically gets taken down. And so that's why the cops are using it. And that's a super hard thing to get around. And by the way, if you say, well, why don't they just not automatically take it down? Because then if YouTube takes that and Instagram takes that rule away, the very first thing everybody does is take copyrighted music and put it to videos. Because it's really tempting, right? Oh, the video will be so much cooler if I put the Dr. Dre song to it, right? Yeah, but then Dr. Dre doesn't get paid on that, and Dr. Dre doesn't like that.
So crazy.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.